So we had a pretty incredible episode last week. We now have Elven Waifu, who has joined the party. Let's see, because, what makes the show interesting is that there's no misunderstanding between the other students. Like, they're actually like, let's go find our boy. They're not like, let's hunt him down. So they already got a lot going for the show. Oh, we gotta capture this now. I mean, it seems pretty freaking smart. I mean, I know it might seem egotistical from an elven point of view, but the cat do be seeming smart, let's be real. You know what? I mean, we don't got a lot of invitations really calling our name. While sure, Demon Lord doesn't sound good, I mean, do we really have a lot of options right now? Beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, I mean, most reasonable Isekai character. So far, humans aren't really all they're cracked up to be. I ain't gonna write off demons completely until I see more. He understands the cat supremacy. I'd be in the same boat. Some would say, oh, it's risky and stupid to wanna, bring the cat aboard. Don't tell me how to live my life. Using, like, the ocean as almost like you're being swallowed up by the ocean. Is he gonna drown? Or is he gonna float back to the surface? Oh, and now he's fallen to his death. Oh, they're doing really cool with the imagery. We got the catnip and we got the treats. You're coming with us. Here's the thing about this. You have to really commend this show. Anytime, like, these isekais are like, oh, if you do this, you're gonna die. They do it and immediately it works out. This dude's actually having an eternal battle with his mind. Listen, you should meet the humans we've been interacting with. If this is what a monster looks like, I'm down to kill humanity, let's be real. Yeah, here we go. They're gonna barge in ready to kill the Demon Lord. And our boy's gonna be chilling with him like, hey, this is my best friend, bro. I guess in a way, if you're gonna make it so the characters aren't against your MC, you have to have a different way to potentially have them against the MC, and by him working with the Demon Lord seemingly, it's a reasonable way to keep conflict without it being infuriating. Even the cat's scared, bro. Bloodlust getting intense. Oh, that's precision. Her new boyfriend does not take smack talk towards his girl like that. Absolutely amazing episode, and dare I say, the more I see, the more I'm convinced this MC is within the top 1% of Isekai MCs. Shoot me. Just a small snippet of the full live reaction, which you can catch over on Patreon, but otherwise let's jump into it and break down a pretty great episode. I'm not even just like exaggerating for the sake of a title. I truly believe at this point I can put Akira in the top 1% of Isekai MCs. And maybe people will take shots, oh, it's just because there's so many dog shit ones out there. And yeah, probably true. But at the same time, Akira is far from a flawless character. But honestly, that just adds to my respect for him as an MC. The thing that immediately stood out to me in the first episode was the fact that he desired to go back home. It's a sad thing to admit at first, because most of these MCs are like, oh, I got family back home and now I'm in Isekai waifu land. My family. I'm not even going to think about them. And then half the characters that I can think of that do think about their family, they are a pretty shitty person in their original life. Where this dude took up extra jobs to take care of his mother, to take care of his sister. Oh, his sister's phone screen broke? I'll just pick up 2 weeks extra shift so I can buy her a phone. Sister feeling like shit, like, bro, like, I didn't ask you to do that. I don't want you to kill yourself so you can, get me a gift. Like, just an absolute family guy and just a rootable guy. So when he gets screwed over by a kingdom, you're not just like, oh, he's a harem MC. I don't really care. No, you're like, shit, man, this guy deserves to go back home and he deserves to get revenge for his homie. But the thing is the more I look at his mentality and how he operates, the more he just doesn't fit into the box that these Isekai MCs do. And one of the biggest things that was refreshing by the end of the second episode was that the heroes party, so the main hero that was selected and the 6 other people that went with him, there's not really a misunderstanding. One guy in episode 3 says, are we sure we're not convinced that the MC Akira stabbed the boy? And they're like, shut up. Like, and even then I can understand, like, he was just brainwashed and he doesn't really have a deep-rooted connection with Akira the same way a couple of the others do. So them being like, hey, I'm still a little sus about this, until they get, like, smacked on the nose with newspaper like, down boy, he's a good guy. It makes sense. And while there's definitely still room for conflict, especially because Akira is seemingly an invitation to the Demon Lord, and the hero party wants to kill the Demon Lord because they're convinced that's the way they'll get back home. Conflict could still happen, especially if they're like, oh shit, we let our boy, do whatever he wants, and now he's working with the Demon Lord. Maybe he did actually stab. Like, there's still, the conflict's probably going to happen. But it's not this contrived bullshit of like, well, everyone hates him. No, like, it just makes sense. And the reason for not sticking around too long, I'm sure there's an element of jealousy from the hero, but I think what he says makes sense. Akira doesn't really play by the rules or with teammates. I've known this motherfucker since he was in kindergarten, and he still doesn't know who I am. He feels a little betrayed, but he's also like, how is someone who's that much stronger than us and doesn't do teamwork gonna fit in a party? The only way that could work is if we reach his level. So sure, let's stay in this village for a bit, but once we're like out leveled in terms of like, let's just say, I don't know, the grunt soldiers in the village are level 15. Like once they get to 16, 17, they gotta be out. I understand their levels are probably different than that. That's just the example. And it makes sense. And I mean, given what we're already seeing from our boy, his skills are insane. He now has a demonic cat that's a part of his party, and he's got a hot elven waifu babe. Now, granted, she's a little traumatized because she's back in her homeland that betrayed her, but thankfully, her boyfriend protects her real well, and given the fact that slimes don't eat people normally, but that slime did, she's gotta have some hidden secrets or something, I don't know. But either way, the more I see, the more I look at Akira, and I'm like, sure, he's gonna make mistakes, he's gonna have some cringy lines and stuff, but maybe it's just because he does what I would want to do in a show like this. Hey, getting a demonic cat on your side could kill you. Yeah, it's worth the risk. And like, even the moments, like, every time someone tells an Isekai MC, hey, if you do this, there's a high chance you die. Okay. 2 seconds later, after a magical animation, they're fine. What happened with this guy? No. He had to actually go inside the cat's brain. He was bleeding through his ears. Like, you actually got a sense that, oh, like, between the water drowning animation, the falling through the sky, stabbed from the cat's tail, like he was actually fighting for his life. This wasn't just because he's overpowered Isekai MC, he's okay. You can dumb down a lot of this show as fantasy show of the season. I can take any show and dumb it down to fit a narrative. But even if you don't vibe with this show as much as I do, you can't call it generic. It doesn't play by the normal rules. And if it was just the MC feeling different, and everything else, like the hero's party was like generic cut and paste bullshit, then sure, maybe I wouldn't defend it quite as much, but every character is actually acting like a goddamn person. We gotta kill the king, we gotta get revenge, and the fact that too, our MC being as nice as he is, like a family-driven man, but having such like visceral hatred for the kingdom and what they did to his best bro. He doesn't feel like an edgy Isekai MC, bloodthirsty because he's a psycho, just waiting to kill. He's not one of those school shooters who just finally has an excuse to be violent. No, his hatred is intense and intimidating because he normally isn't that violent person. Great character writing, great show, production on point. I only watched a little snippet of the trailer for next episode, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty fun action set piece. You know, you could make the argument, hey, sister tried to kill sister. He's trying to say, are you sure you can't be friends? But he's a very family-driven man. Yeah, it's a little ignorant, but at the end of the day, I understand why someone who's so family-oriented would be like, are you sure you can't be, you know, remedy everything with your sister? I think it's great. Maybe top 1%'s pushing it, but he's at least in the top 5%. Let's be real. Thoughts down below. What did you think of this week's episode? Drop a like, show your support, subscribe if you're new around your Patrons where you catch those full live reactions and more. Like, hey, I also like to give video shout outs to my patrons. Alright, so today we got Jacob McDougal, Sage Narf, JMW, Tokyo, Sky Crow, and we also have Kyle Tolbert. So I appreciate the support. Everyone, please take care. You know, have a good one.